Before that, I would like to say a few words about Mr. Donnelly. That he has been the tactical marketing manager from Thermo Scientific Microbiology, responsible for food protection portfolio across Asia Pacific. Donnelly has more than 20 years of experience in the life science, clinical, pharmaceutical, and food industry, including positions in research and development, technical support, sales, and marketing management. John has been supporting companies on improving their internal workflows to enhance capabilities and efficiencies in the industry for pathogen and integrity testing. And now I would request Mrs. Donnelly, APAC Tactical Marketing Manager, Thermo Scientific Microbiology, on screen.
A very good morning to everyone. I'm Don from Thermo Scientific. I'm responsible for marketing in industrial microbiology. A very warm welcome and thank you for joining us today. Let us spend the next 20 minutes to take a good look at the current trends of food adulteration in Asia. Do allow me to put some questions out there before we start discussion. Firstly, what do we mean by food integrity and why should we be concerned with food fraud? Secondly, what is the situation around us today? Thirdly, where and what should we be focusing on? And last but not least, how can we work together to better combat food adulteration? Let us first discuss what is food integrity. Based on definition from a dictionary, it is defined as the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles and the state of being whole and undivided. How does that translate when we talk about food integrity? Well, food integrity means assuring quality and authenticity in the supply chain, and that the state of food that consumer purchase should be whole, entire, or undiminished in a perfect condition. Food integrity includes safe, authentic, and good quality food. Safe being food free from pathogens and harmful substances. Authenticity, this can include multiple things including purity of food, source of origin, free from specific ingredient, tested for food adulteration, and all ingredients indicated are correct. Finally, on food quality, this can include external factors such as appearance, texture, flavor, and condition of the food product. So, why should we care about food authenticity or food? Firstly, there is financial implication. It is estimated that food fraud costs the global food industry between 10 to 15 billion US dollars each year, with 10% of all commercially sold food products being affected. These are challenging economic times, increasing pressure for unscrupulous suppliers to commit food fraud by substituting with cheaper alternatives which may not be equivalent or authentic. Food fraud can result in a public safety or health risk event, can have very significant financial or public relation consequences for any associated companies, as well as tarnished reputation for suppliers, manufacturers, and testing laboratories. For these reasons, we can all understand how important having an effective food fraud management system is in reducing potential risk and loss of any business at risk, and everyone involved in the food industry has a stake in ensuring that adulterated food is not being traded. Before we take a closer look at Asia, let us take a couple of minutes to discuss on several significant food fraud cases in history globally. This will allow us to better understand why there is an absolute need and urgency to combat against food fraud. In the spring of 1981, A batch of industrial rapeseed oil has had its aniline illegally removed and sold as olive oil to street traders across Spain. Aniline was added to rapeseed oil to make it unpalatable to prevent human consumption. However, with this illegal act of removing aniline, over 1,000 individuals died from a violent allergic reaction known as the toxic oil syndrome. This incident became the deadliest foodborne disaster in modern history. Fast forward to the 20th century, in 2007, thousands of pets in the US died after consuming pet food with melanin-tainted wheat gluten. Humans were also affected through the consumption of more than 3 million melanin-fed chickens, with melanin causing formation of kidney stones. Affected individuals with blocked kidney tubes might develop kidney failures and death in severe cases. In 2008, we all heard about it. The famous Chinese milk case came to light when over 300,000 people, including 50,000 children, fall victim to the melanin-added milk in China. The culprits were arrested and sentenced harshly, with 2 executed in 2008. In 2009, Stewart Parner, former CEO of now-dissolved Peanut Corporation of America, was sentenced to 28 years of imprisonment for knowingly shipped salmonella-contaminated peanut butter across 46 states in the United States. Stewart's action caused the death of 7 people and serious illness in hundreds. This case highlighted that cutting corners can have catastrophic results. Hence, it is critical to have a robust food safety management system to identify potential mistakes early. Lastly, you must have heard about the 2013 horse meat scandals, also known as the Irish beef. This is where beef was substituted by horse meat in Ireland and the UK. Pork were also discovered in the range of beef products. This scandal caused Tesco's market value to slump by 360 million euros, and the sales of frozen burgers dipped by 43%. The cases highlighted and the threats and danger of food fraud. It is extremely real. As the food professionals, it is important for us to protect our loved ones and consumers from falling victim to food fraud. To better understand the situation in Asia Pacific, let us take the view through the lens of European Commission. This past 4 years overview is a summary from European Commission monthly food fraud summary reports, where food fraud news and publications has been consolidated from public domains globally, with the aim to raise awareness and highlight the importance to combat against food fraud. This monthly report can be downloaded from the web info on the slides. Starting from 2017, there were between 29 to 43 food fraud cases published across Asia Pacific. We saw a peak in the number of published cases in 2020, with 43 cases. This rise is suspected to be related to the COVID-19 lockdown situation. The pandemic lockdown across Asia significantly slowed down food manufacturing sector, while market demand increases. This demand increases created opportunity for fraudsters to further increase adulterated food products in the market. Let us now take a deeper dive to look at India. We have observed a consistent 13 to 14 report published annually, representing less than 40% of Asia Pacific since 2017. Food authorities is putting in a lot of effort to combat food fraud, and this effort is remarkable. With the continuous publication on food fraud cases, it heightens consumer awareness around the risk of food fraud, and more importantly, discourages fraudster from selling adulterated products. So what happened in 2020? Let's take a closer look. The table illustrates all the cases published in 2020. To allow us to easily pick up cases reported in India, I have highlighted them in red. And let's take a quick pause here so that you can eyeball through some of the cases and just to get a feel on what is actually being published. Hope that you managed to capture a glimpse of some of the cases which interest you. Again, more details can be found in the web link. Let us now summarize the reported cases and find out where and which products should we put in more effort moving forward. The table illustrates the top 10 case type in 2020. As seen in the case type table, it is clear to us that the top adulterated products in Asia are milk, spices, and tea, which contributed to more than 40% of all food adulteration cases. With most of the food authorities equipped with analytical techniques, including mass spectrometry, milk adulteration can often be quickly and easily tested. However, when we take a look at spice, we all love spice, don't we? It is often challenging to identify which plant species are included in the adulterate or adulterated in our spice powder when it contains numerous plant spices in there. And that identifying adulteration in spice is often challenging. That is why we developed an untargeted species identification method utilizing next-gen sequencing, which allows us to authenticate against more than 6,000 plant species within the spice. Secondly, let us take a quick look at countries in Asia. We observe a tremendous effort from Pakistani, Indian, and Cambodia food authorities to combat against food fraud, which led to more cases where food fraudsters are being exposed and punished. The top 3 countries in Asia sums up to 70% of all cases reported. Let us explore further into the top 3 countries. In Pakistan, we are observing 36% of reported cases on adulterated milk, 22% on adulterated spice, and 14% on adulterated tea. As for India, there are 23% on adulterated tea and an equal split of 15% on adulterated honey, milk, and spices. Last but not least, in Cambodia, we are seeing 2/3 on counterfeit wine and 1/3 on adulterated seafood. As seen in the summary of the cases, it painted a very positive outlook where we are seeing immense effort from the local food authorities to expose cases of food fraud, destroying the adulterated food products, to protect the consumers, and more importantly, punishing the fraudsters to deter further emergence of future cases. Hope that by now we all have a better understanding of the trend of food adulteration across Asia. Lastly, let us also understand how some of the local food authorities within Asia are doing to better combat food adulteration. In my last slide. Thermo Scientific has partnered up with national food authorities in Singapore, China, and Hong Kong to further advance competency to combat food fraud with our NGS food authenticity workflow. This is aiming to better protect all the consumers within Asia. The Thermo Fisher NGS food authenticity workflow is a complete automated, next-gen sequencing workflow and software database for multi-species identification screening. This technology enables each authority to interrogate meat, fish, and plant species based on an extensive database of more than 17,000 species through an untargeted approach, which elevated the national testing competency to the next level. This untargeted approach allows the national food authorities to authenticate samples with unknown meat, fish, or plant species, with the test results indicating the percentage of each species present in each sample. The utilization of next-gen sequencing platform enables species identifications which has never been done previously. With that, I would like to thank you all for the attention over the past 20 minutes, and I hope you've enjoyed this session and looking forward to our question and answer sessions later if you have any. Thank you.
Thank you, Donley, for your time and for your presentation. And next